fellow cross stitchers, hello fellow Flosstubers, and welcome to the Elbe Valley. There has been quite a lot of water here during the Christmas vacation. It has been high tide in many places in Germany. And down to the river there are still some waste areas which are flooded. And first of all, I wish all the people there to stay safe and the high tide to be over as soon as possible. But here the things are back to the normality. We are quite a small hill. The city is situated in a small hill and we didn't have much water. So as I've already mentioned, the Christmas time is over and January is kind of a time for new plans, new projects, new whips. But before I will start something new, I'd like to have a small review of my stitching in 2023. I can't actually call it a whip parade, since most the stitching are no longer whips, no longer works in progress. I have finished most of them, so it's more like a throwback or a summary of all crafty things I've been working on last year. I will start with a bit of statistics. I need some help. So there have been 24 whips I've been working on last year, and 16 of them have been started last year as well. So I'm not a rapid stitcher and it's quite a good amount for me. It's been a crafty year and I'm proud of myself. And 19 works have been finished. It's another reason to be proud. So there have been altogether only 2 of my current whips which I have not made a single stitch on, and this I'm going to improve in the coming year. So first of all, let me start with the whips which are still in progress, and I'm sure some of them will move to the next year, since there are some bigger works among them and they won't be finished soon. And for this reason it's better that you will see my desk and my talking hands. I think it's better so that you can have a better look on the stitching. The first start of 2023 has been a stitching from an old magazine. The magazine is Cross Stitching Country Craft. Just look, it's from 1989. It's nearly as old as myself. The design is called My Little Duck. Unfortunately, there is no name of the designer. The only fact is mentioned here that the design has been made after an original painting by Maud Fanjo, and the painting has been published in 1933. So it's kind of a vintage cross-stitch design. It's a portrait of a little boy with curly light hair, and it's so when I see pictures of babies or small children with light curly hair, I'm totally blown away, because they all remind me of my own son, or my little boy. That's why I have immediately bought the magazine after I had seen it in a Facebook group. And I have found a nice piece of linen. I think it's Belfast linen, my favorite fabric. It's Reichert's Belfast. And started stitching. But just a few days later, I've been quite disappointed by the result. You see that the color shading on the preview, on the original picture, is quite soft, while in my stitching it looks like the baby face is full of stains. I have used the DMC colors recommended by the designer, so I have no idea why it looks this way. It looks like this way. I've tried to substitute through the anchor thread. There were two possible options. You can work with anchor. You can work with anchor, you can work with DMC. Actually, I usually work with DMC, but this time I have an exception. But I neither enjoyed the result. And so, at the moment, this beautiful design is hibernating on the desk and waiting for the time when I'll find enough time, enough motivation to fix the color shading and to find the right colors. Another start of 2023 has not been as tricky. It's just a stitching kit. I've already shown in my first video, and actually I hoped to have it finished last year already, but somehow it has a bit less luck than the other whips. But I hope for this year, since the most difficult part, the head of this polar bear cap, it's already done here. It's not a long way to go. The next kit, the next whip, is another one with the bad luck. I've started 2 years ago the road trip project. I wanted to take it on vacation, I guess, and I have taken this and my new Q-snaps. And you might think how upset I was when after the first stitching session I have seen this, and here, and here. So the fabric color has actually been removed by the Q-snaps. And then I have lost my motivation to work on this project any longer. But the design itself is really pretty. And last year I just made myself to continue. And concerning the spots on the fabric, it's Nada, I'll think how to fix it when I see the ready stitching. And to finish my whip chapter, I'll show you two bigger projects. So this one is quite old. I started it in 2019. It's a stitching kit by brand Panna. Here you can see the preview. They have a nice series of Russian cities, which remind me a bit of Michael Powell's style. I think the series is discontinued. And firstly, I've been highly motivated to stitch it, but to be honest, the process, the stitching, the work on it is quite boring. There are waist areas in one color, and I am already looking forward to tons of backstitch. And the permanent linen, it's a permanent, not Zweigert, I have chosen. It's not my favorite fabric. I don't really like working on it. And the last one is a Christmas or New Year's card. I don't remember it any longer exactly, but it was from 2022. It's a kit by RTO called Silver Morning. So I haven't stitched it a lot. There's only a small corner. This, the left corner here, this area. And I didn't plan any serious progress. Actually, I was just curious to try. It's a big work, and I was curious to see how it looks like. And the stitching is not quite versatile. You see there are waist areas in similar colors, but I like the spirit, this calm winter morning. I guess it's St. Petersburg behind the window. And this whip is definitely to be continued. And actually there have been all works in progress of 2023, but now I'm ready to show you a bunch of finishes. And I've already mentioned, most of them have also been started in last year. So here we go with some solemn music in the background, because it's following my finish braids. Ta-da! Would you like to see it closer? I'm happy to show all of the stitching to you. Let's start with the contribution to the calendar series by Mina Stitch, alias Jane Minasyan, where they are. Oh, it's another roll, I'm sorry. Hey, here's my calendar. So we have February, then there is March, the pretty fox, March, there is no April, May, June, they have been finished 2022, and here is July, and August. I think August is the less favorite. Nevertheless, it's a funny one. All of them stitched on Aida and 14th count, just normal plain white Aida. And there are only 3 months to go, which means my goal for 2024 are the month October, November and December. And then I'll get the whole calendar. Isn't it nice? Another series I worked on last year has been so-called White Lace by Panna. It's monochrome embroidery on Aida. There is a fox and the bird. There are only 3 kits in this series. I'm already looking forward to work on the 3rd one, the reindeer, because this is the kind of stitching I really do enjoy. It is not as difficult as classical needlepoint or embroidery, but the impact is similar. You see the stitches, you see the fabric, you just enjoy the various techniques, and it's really not as complicated to do. And then, talking about freestyle stitching, I have a nice finish by Dimensions. I think it's not the first choice when you think about kits, about Dimensions crafts kits. I'm mostly known for the cross stitch, landscapes and retro things. But this one, it's called Believe in Your Dreams. It already has been a great experience. And there has been time in my life when I've been totally fond of these childboard imitations, and this kit was on my wish list, and I've got it on a birthday secret swap in a Facebook group, which no longer exists, unfortunately. Last year I finished it. Meanwhile, I'm not as really fond of these childboard things, so I don't think I will get it framed ever, but never say never. At the end of the day, I'm really happy about the process. It was a great fun. I have learned a lot. And the quality of materials is great, as always. And then there has been some primitive stitching. Let me show you this small thing. It's stitched on linen. I think it's Permin linen. It's very rough. I'm sorry, but I can no longer tell you which designer it's been. I have found the pattern in my old stash of old cross stitch magazines. When I've been looking for a quick finish, I just wanted to stitch something new, to start something new, but any difficult projects and to work with multicolor threads, which I've done here, as you've seen. The color conversion is completely mine. I admit it's not the best one, but you have surely heard about the motto of Angela Wardles, the queen of quilts: better finished than perfect. And this one is finished, so I'm pretty pleased with it. And then there has been a big finish by Riolis. It's also a kit stitched on Aida 11th count. That's why it came out so huge. The geese I have already shown to you, the mascot of our town. And some non-fabric finishes. So some stitching which has been made on another things and other materials less than cotton or linen. Firstly, this nice kit by Mill Hill Stitching. It's called Wisteria Welcome. I've absolutely fell in love with it when I've seen this little cat and these purple. There are wisterias, but I'll come to it later. It was a funny story, and I really enjoyed this multi-dimensional effect in this door. It doesn't look flat. You have a feeling. You really can look through. You can look inside into the room, and that the designer has managed to create such a great effect using only a few colors, only not a wide range of materials. It's a great achievement. I'm delighted about it. So, and the funny story. While I was stitching it, I used to think that these purple things might be grapes. But then I have checked the wisteria in the dictionary, and you may think how upset I was. I know the German word for wisteria, and I know that it's one of the most poisonous plants ever. So all of the time I was thinking about juicy taste grapes, and it wasn't so. So I'd rather continue thinking that there were grapes, but on the other hand, Wisteria Welcome sounds somehow more noble, more inviting than just grape welcome. What do you think? And then another Mill Hill. You have already seen this charmed mitten. Here we go. And two kits stitched with bead on roots, the one on craft. Here is an Easter lamp, which actually a pincushion used as pincushion, and an Easter bunny, which doesn't have any special function. I just enjoyed it, and actually it's standing on my desk, and I look at it when I need some spring spirits in my life. And at this moment, you should see some photos of autumn stitching made in plastic canvas. I have to show you only the photos because I don't own the stitching. I no longer have it because it has given as a present to the nursery of my child, of my little son. They have kind of an information board in the nursery where you can read various information as a parent, for example, about the kind of projects or the songs they are learning, or something concerning foods you need to bring, and so on. And these boards are magnetic, and I have just made some autumn things to decorate it. So there are two kits by Firebird or Żarptica. The first is called the autumn gifts or autumn presents, and another one is the Halloween pumpkins. There are magnets on the back side, and it looked nicely on the board. Another photo you're looking on at the moment in the star, the Poinsettia star, made using the design of by Fabiorilli, stitched on Belfast linen. I have given it as a present to Tatiana from the YouTube channel Stitched by Tatiana. She's a great stitcher. I've been following her work, her stitching, since I think 2 years or so, and she's been a great inspiration for me. And as a matter of fact, she is the person who indirectly inspired me to start the Flosstube of my own, and to believe that I can do it as well. So, and now, to the end of the day, I would like to introduce you the results of my so-called last year of the day marathon. There are in fact three finishes I have done in the last 2 days of 2023. And I've been so motivated to nail the 3 finished at once that I went to sleep at about 4 o'clock in the morning on December 30th. Firstly, this is the viburnum syrup by Firebird or MP Studia. It's also known as MP Studia. I have stitched it on Eva by Übelhör, the Austrian fabric brand. The color of the fabric is 4106 and I think the count is 27th. I'm not completely pleased with the result, to be honest. Well, I think the sparrow is nice, the jar is interesting, but I'm not quite sure about this, about their berries and about the leaves. I think the colors are so acid, so I'm not sure if they suit together altogether. It's not because of the color of the fabric, just the whole stitching is somehow way too bright for me. And the next one is the kit by Ferraco. I have already mentioned. Learning to Count, made of Zweigart's Murano. It's antique white. Here the picture is absolutely stunning. I'm totally happy with it. But if you own this kit, be careful with the color number 19. This is one of this brownish, the light brownish, and I think the color number 10, this dark blue. I have run out of these colors and I had to substitute it for my DMC stash. The frame in the original pattern is meant to be stitched in pink, but I have chosen a neutral color. I know that nowadays we need to think beyond the gender stereotypes, but to be honest, my son really does not like pink, so I'm sorry. I think green is a fine color as well. And the last one I would like to show to you is, I think it's one of the most favorite stitchings I have ever done, not only last year but ever. It has started with a book I have received as a Christmas presents. The book is by Véronique Engagère. I think it's quite well known in the stitching world. Mountain motifs in cross stitch. I was not surprised about getting the book. I wanted to get it. I have planned it. But the main reason why I wanted it, there's a pattern of marmots. It's really sweet, and marmots are quite a rarity in cross stitch. Which one is this? Yes, here. Actually, I wanted to stitch these. It's quite a sweet one. It's an easy one. But then I looked through and found the Christmas tree. And my heart has been stolen immediately. And it's needless to say, it was still Christmas. It was the first day of Christmas. I have found a nice piece of fabric. I have found the threads and have started on Christmas to finish it on Christmas Eve, on the New Year's Eve. And there has been a success. Just look at this. Isn't it nice? The fabric is Urano Splash. The color is Mint Splash. The number is 5421 if you're interested. And I use the DMC colors, the recommended ones, and the recommended colors are correspond really nicely to the fabric color. And it was in fact my first acquaintance with the French cross stitch, and I've been absolutely inspired and delighted, and I'm looking forward to the new projects made from this book or another or kits. I know there are a lot of patterns to buy, So it's kind of a it's kind of a little new world for me. So now you have seen my stitching year 2023. I don't know if the new year might be as crafty as the last one. I haven't made any grid plans, and I will just let my crafty motor surprise me. Concerning to the videos, I will try to make new ones as soon as I have nice things to show. So thus I wish you a crafty and productive year, and all of the best. Stay safe, happy stitching. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next videos, and bye.